It's very loud, so excuse me if I get a little bit paro. As you can see, I got my go-to face on. And they can't.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The crowd is assembled at the American Airlines Center looking for a Mavericks win here in downtown Dallas. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. Also joining us from the sidelines, David Aldridge. And as the he is a legend. Thank you, D.A. Doris, we know for a few chosen individuals, the best of the best, this is the last leg now in the race for the MVP.
That is correct, Kevin. There's been a narrative that's built all season, but sometimes the way you close out a season can ultimately decide the vote because it's the last thing in the minds of the voters. You've piled up your stats, you've tried to win as many games as possible, but a finishing kick is so important in this race.
And these players know it, don't they? I mean, they say, oh, I'm not paying attention to it, but really, I mean, come on. They're human. Of course they are, right?
They're paying attention, no doubt.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. We've got Gordon. He's out there with Plumlee. Chris Paul is out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Musa in at the 2. Now here's Paul. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. And so here is Dallas. And he uses the glass on the layup. George has got the game going with his first points of the game for the Mavs.
Excellent offensive positioning from Paul George. Size, length, touch. Beautiful.
Paul finds Butler. Reverses. Tries again. It's deflected.
And how about marketing, using his size and reach on defense? Great timing in terms of being able to get up and block shots.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
You're right. I mean, he's found his rhythm early. The defense has got to do a better job guarding him from this point on.
And Paul gets it to go in.
Really, that's his specialty right there, finding that angle and then going hard to the rim.
And for D'Angelo Russell, the former #2 pick, it's all about developing himself as a player and a leader. Has focused more on the team and less on himself of late, and knows what is expected of him and has to earn every second of floor time.
The shot by George, no good. For Toronto, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Butler with the ball. He's picked up by Whiteside, and Kyle Korver picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first. Paul passes to Butler. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts. And last season, Russell had to fight for minutes upon returning from injury.
Yeah, and battles like that help mature a player and really keep them focused. Those are areas where Russell had struggled in the past. I think he and his coach both know it's not easy, but it has already started in making Russell the best player he can be.
Butler. Second chance shot. And there's the nice layup by Plumlee.
A guy who converts well at the rim. You like to see the aggression there.
Really doesn't get any easier than that. The defense didn't look too interested in stopping him.
Now here is George. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
Paul George will force you to stay balanced defensively because if you have a miscue, he will find the open guy.
And here is Paul after the three-pointer from Lauri Markkanen. Butler against George. Left side, Butler. 4 on the shot clock. To the paint. And it's Gordon missing.
Boy, that's high-impact defense in the lane, standing tall to deny the easy bucket.
And George kicks to Russell. We've got 13 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul. There's 10 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Russell left side. The turnaround jumper, counting. Russell's got his first 2 points.
You can see what a gifted player and scorer D'Angelo Russell is. Defense doesn't deter him.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close. Jimmy Butler, a hard worker on the floor and off the court.
I worked extremely hard.
A boombox aquarium, huh? Points for originality, Greg.
Butler, not shy, breaking from convention, beats to the rhythm of his own drum.
And we welcome you back to our special Noche Latina broadcast as the second quarter getting going right now. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Mavericks?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Paul George is out there with Markkanen. Then there's Kyle Korver. Then there's Whiteside. And it's Russell in at point guard. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from the line.
See, the combination of size, mobility, athleticism gives Aaron Gordon the necessary attributes to be an excellent defender.
For the Dallas Mavericks the last couple years, generating free throw attempts has been a problem.
Which is a shame because when they've gotten to the line, they've been extremely accurate. But let's remember, you have a ton of jump shooters on this team, and that's a point of emphasis.
And that one, good.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Paul for 3. A shot off that time. Now Dallas takes it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad. Plumlee, no luck.
Yeah, that's just a missed opportunity. Something there just a little off.
Yeah, simply a little bit careless, I think. Can't just throw it up there. You have to time these alley-oops perfectly. Well, in that individual matchup, the rim is totally unprotected. He's just got too much size on him.
Russell against Paul, over Russell, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Paul's got his second basket.
And oozing with confidence right now. Paul makes plays off the bounce that others can't.
And there's George. That's good on the assist by Russell. And that's now 6 points for Paul George. And so it's Paul bringing it up for Toronto, trailing by 5. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively, and when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
I think intensity is the key, right, Greg? When you play with energy on the offensive end, good things usually happen.
Good on the bucket. Paul's got 6 points. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
You know, a poor shooting night. I just got the sense they didn't work hard enough to get good looks.
Right. There has to be some sort of consistent effort to generate quality shots. It seemed to me they thought they were going to come easily.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Hassan Whiteside.
Really been a key contributor over the past month. Second in blocks, third in rebounding. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And as you said, one rung below the leader in block shots. Tremendous motor. He's simply been destroying opponents in the lane.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
To the middle. Plumlee, no luck.
I don't think the defense is much of a factor there. He just botches the finish.
Korver passes to Markkanen. 41 seconds left to play in the first half. That one falls. 7 points in the game.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Outside Gordon. Paul looking over the floor. Just 5 on the clock. It's deflected, and they get it back. Mavericks leading by 8. In the corner, George with it. Tipped away. Paul with the steal. Here's Musa. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Musa's got his first points in this one. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. George, that's a 2-pointer. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter suit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friend. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. Well, for the Mavericks, Kenny, what did you see from them?
Well, their shooting accuracy was on point. It was good play calling, of course, by the coaching staff. But it
And
cars crossing back and forth over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge as we welcome you back to Dallas. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Paul George really making a difference here.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
I don't think you could ask for anything more from this guy. He has been fantastic to start this one.
And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. Plumlee out there with Gordon, and it's Chris Paul. Then there's Jimmy Butler, and it's Musa in at the shooting guard position. Now here's Paul. He has 6. Outside Butler. Doris, look in your crystal ball. 5 years from now, who do you think will be the 2-3 best players in the NBA?
Well, certainly some of the names. I won't say this is a definitive list, but as long as health holds, I'm going to give you 3 men who are going to be bad men in the NBA for a long time. Giannis Antetokounmpo, because the Greek freak is able at his size to handle it, take it off the window, and dominate action in transition. If he gets a consistent jump shot, forget about it. Ben Simmons, exactly the same thing. His passing ability is extraordinary. I think you'll see him get a low post game, and I think he'll get a jump shot, and he will be unguardable. And one of my absolute favorites is Mr. Joel Embiid. Give it to you inside, give it to you outside. Mr. Embiid can handle it. He can dominate with his defense. Those 3 men are going to be all-stars for a long, long time.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
From deep, George. Whiteside, and Whiteside stays right with it. And the Mavericks lead by 3.
Yeah, and the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
Now here's Paul. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. To the inside, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
And you gotta love how Paul sees the whole court so well. Maybe the best quality for a point guard to have.
Korver kicks to Russell. Pass to Whiteside. Over Plumlee. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. 8 points for Mason Plumlee.
Great beginning to this second half. Now 3 for 4 from the field.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. .152 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Russell against Gordon. Clock at 6. Down low and taken away by Paul.
And 5 turnovers here. He set his team back on the offensive end. Oh, great ball movement there.
Mavericks trail by 3. Russell kicks to Whiteside. Butler against George. There's the triple. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Plumlee's got 6 rebounds now in the game. There's the pass to Paul. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Over Russell. Paul can't get it to go.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Dallas again turning it over. Here's a look at what's coming up for Toronto. On Friday, they'll be taking on Paul Millsap and the Boston Celtics. Then on Friday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Chicago Bulls. Now here's Paul. 6 points for him. 46 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Butler. It's good. And now a 5-point Toronto lead.
You know, it's interesting. After such a sound defensive first half, they've really struggled here in the second.
Pass to Whiteside. Russell looking around. He kicks to George. Shot clock at 6. To end the cold streak. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. George has got 12 points in the game.
Well, how about that killer instinct? Paul George understanding he's got it going right now, very confident in his abilities.
Here's Paul. Over Russell. No good on the last second attempt there. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. We've got Russell. Lauri Markkanen is out there with Paul George. Then there's Kyle Korver. And it's Whiteside in at the 5 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Now, here's Markkanen. Over Gordon. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
And stolen by Whiteside. Lets a floater go. Gordon with the defensive effort. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Toronto. A 2-point game. Dallas has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. George finds Whiteside. Outside for George. Five on the clock. And it's all evened up. George has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Dallas.
Oh, he is just so clutch, saving his best for when the pressure is at its highest.
Bounce pass from Paul. Here's Musa. Over Markkanen. Musa can't hit. George against Butler. Passes to Russell. Markkanen kicks to George. To take the lead, and it's blocked by Gordon.
Boy, the vertical that Aaron Gordon has helps him on the defensive end, twice on the pipes with that block.
Toronto shooting 43% for the game. To the inside, pass to Paul. Here's Musa. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 6 assists here tonight.
And you just got to love the way he moved the ball. Very unselfish.
I'd say he's looking to set up his guys as much as possible, and you can tell his teammates really appreciate it.
Now, here's Whiteside. Up top, Russell, defended by Gordon. Whiteside, and it's slammed in by Whiteside.
When Russell gets his teammates involved, it makes this entire team better, and it'll make him more effective at the point position.
Ball against Russell. And that's a foul called on Lauri Markkanen. That is his first foul of the game. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Paul with the ball. 6 on the shot clock.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Yeah, with the score this close, guys, I am shocked at the lack of defensive aggressiveness. That has to be shored up.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That will be foul number 5 on him. 1:04 left in the fourth. They get a hand on it. Shot clock at 6. Ball against Russell.
And you got to love the heart of Paul. Not the biggest guy, but he gives a ton of effort into shutting down his man.
Here's Dallas. Here in the fourth, they've allowed just 4 points. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. .32 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
And this, to me, is where Aaron Gordon can excel. This guy embraces contact on the way up.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. 2-possession game now.
And the Mavericks call time here. They're behind by 4. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
And to me, the best part of his game has been the work he's done inside. I mean, slashing, driving the lane, attacking the basket at every chance. When he's had an opening, he's taken it.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He told him we've got to make the most of every chance right now. This is a winnable game, but we've got to make plays. Guys, we'll see if they can come back.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
So it gets them both, and it's a 4-point ball game.
And no doubt, Paul is still a top-tier point guard, a determined defender, and, of course, a remarkable distributor.
Dallas calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 20 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What do you think, guys?
And they're going to have to score. Quick foul. Can't waste any time here.
Right, that's the game plan. It's got to be executed perfectly. No time to waste.
Russell kicks to George. Over Butler. No good there off the double clutch. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. George, that's a 2-pointer. Yep, it's good.
And Kevin, you can see Paul George is locked in right now. Big-time shots demonstrate his elite level in the NBA.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks.